It's Friday, April the 24th, 2026. You're listening to the DX Today AI Daily Brief. Today, OpenAI releases GPT 5.5 and calls it the smartest model yet. Meta tells 8,000 employees they're out as it doubles down on AI. And SK Hynix posts record earnings as the memory shortage deepens. Let's get into it.
OpenAI released GPT 5.5 on Thursday, calling it the company's smartest and most intuitive model to date. The new system is designed for agentic workflows, carrying multi-step tasks from start to finish with less hand-holding from the user. OpenAI says it excels at debugging code, operating software, conducting research, and building documents and spreadsheets. The model is rolling out immediately to Plus, Pro, Business, and Enterprise subscribers in ChatGPT and the Codex Coding Assistant. The release arrives just 6 weeks after GPT 5.4, a rapid cadence that underscores how fiercely frontier labs are competing for enterprise customers. Pricing rose sharply, $5 per million input tokens and $30 per million output tokens, double the previous generation.
Meanwhile, the job market.
Meta announced Thursday it will cut roughly 10% of its workforce, about 8,000 people, with layoffs taking effect May 20th. Chief People Officer Janelle Gale framed the reductions as an efficiency move to offset massive spending elsewhere. The company is pouring capital into AI infrastructure, chip design, and senior AI talent. Meta spent $72 billion on capital expenditures in 2025. That figure is expected to climb past $115 billion this year. Meta is also scrapping 6,000 open roles. The cuts join a broader tech wave. More than 78,000 tech workers have been laid off in 2026 so far, with nearly half attributed to AI-driven workflow changes.
Across the Pacific now.
NE Corporation announced a sweeping partnership with Anthropic on Thursday, becoming the first Japan-based member of Anthropic's Global Partner Program. The collaboration will deploy Claude to roughly 30,000 NEC employees worldwide and build what the companies describe as one of Japan's largest AI native engineering teams. Joint development will focus on secure industry-specific solutions for finance, manufacturing, and local government, anchored by Anthropic's desktop agent, Claude Cowork. NEC will also embed Anthropic's models into its Security Operations Center services. A new internal center of excellence will train technical staff using Claude Code. The deal marks one of Anthropic's most significant footholds in Asia as enterprise demand for sovereign AI accelerates.
Now to memory chips.
SK Hynix reported a blockbuster first quarter on Thursday, with net profit jumping fivefold to a record 40.3 trillion yuan, around $27 billion US. Revenue climbed 198% year over year. Operating profit rose 405%. Operating margins hit 72%. The South Korean chipmaker attributed the surge to relentless demand for high-bandwidth memory used in AI training systems alongside Nvidia accelerators. Chairman Choi Tae-won warned the HBM shortage could persist through 2030, with a capacity gap exceeding 20%. The company committed 19 trillion won to a new domestic fabrication plant and plans to sample 7th-generation HBM4E chips in the second half of this year.
Turning to Washington.
The Trump administration is vowing to crack down on Chinese firms extracting capabilities from American AI models. In a Thursday memo, Michael Kratsios, the president's chief science and technology advisor, accused entities principally based in China of running industrial-scale distillation campaigns against leading U.S. systems. Distillation works by querying a proprietary model millions of times to reconstruct its behavior in a cheaper clone. Kratsios said the administration will partner with American AI companies to identify offenders, build defenses, and impose penalties. OpenAI and Anthropic have previously named DeepSeek, Moonshot, and Minimax as suspected actors. A bipartisan House bill is also advancing that would authorize sanctions against foreign firms extracting closed-source AI technology.
from policy to product security.
Microsoft said Wednesday it will embed Anthropic's new frontier model, Claude Mythos, into its Security Development Lifecycle, the framework that governs how its software is built and shipped. The goal is to catch vulnerabilities earlier and patch them faster. Claude Mythos, unveiled earlier this month, has already been used inside Anthropic's Project Glasswing to identify thousands of zero-day flaws across major operating systems and browsers. Microsoft joins Amazon, Apple, Cisco, CrowdStrike, Google, JP Morgan Chase, the Linux Foundation, Nvidia, and Palo Alto Networks in the Glasswing Consortium. The move signals a shift in industrial cybersecurity practice, where AI is now used routinely to audit critical infrastructure code at a scale humans alone cannot match.
On to the funding desk.
Omni, a 4-year-old analytics startup, raised $120 million in a Series C led by Iconic on Thursday at a valuation of $1.5 billion. The round includes a $30 million employee tender offer. Omni builds what's known as a semantic layer, a governed translation tier that sits between a company's raw data and whoever or whatever is querying it, including AI agents. Revenue quadrupled year over year as enterprises consolidated legacy business intelligence tools and built AI data products on the platform. Co-founder Colin Zima previously sold Looker to Google for $2.6 billion. Existing backers, Theory Ventures, First Round Capital, Redpoint, and GV all participated in the new round.
Now out of Google Cloud Next.
Google Cloud used its Next 2026 conference this week to unveil the Gemini Enterprise Agent Platform, a single product for building, deploying, and governing AI agents. The platform replaces Vertex AI as Google's flagship enterprise development environment. It bundles a code-first agent development kit, a low-code agent studio, a long-running agent runtime with persistent memory, and governance primitives, including agent identity and agent gateway. Over 200 models, including the newly released Gemini 3.1 Pro, are accessible through Model Garden. Google also introduced 8th-generation Tensor processing units and a $750 million fund to help enterprise customers adopt AI faster.
To Austin next.
SpaceX has told prospective investors it is planning substantial capital expenditures, including the potential development of its own graphics processors. The disclosure, reported this week, reflects a broader strategy to build a vertically integrated AI stack across SpaceX, Tesla, and the recently absorbed xAI. Company operations in Austin would house much of the chip work. The plan complements SpaceX's newly announced $60 billion agreement to acquire coding startup Cursor, though that deal has been postponed until after the anticipated summer IPO. Elon Musk's emerging position is clear: own the silicon, own the models, and own the applications. For Nvidia, the message is that its largest customers increasingly want alternatives.
Over to Hannover, Germany.
At Hannover Messe this week, Nvidia unveiled a sovereign industrial AI platform built with Deutsche Telekom to serve European manufacturers. The cloud will run simulation, robotics, and digital twin workloads on Nvidia infrastructure without forcing companies to build their own supercomputers. BMW and Siemens are already running Nvidia-powered humanoid robots on live production lines. Toyota adopted Invisible AI's vision execution system to analyze every production cycle in real time. Industrial equipment maker Terex projects a 3% yield increase and a 10% reduction in rework. Dell, IBM, Lenovo, Cadence, Dassault, and Synopsys are embedding NVIDIA's CUDA-X and Omniverse libraries directly into factory software.
Back to the funding desk.
Cloudsmith, a Belfast-based software supply chain startup, closed a $72 million Series C on Thursday, led by TCV with participation from Insight Partners. The investment positions the company at the center of AI-driven software development, where machine-generated code is flowing into enterprise pipelines at unprecedented speed. Cloudsmith manages the artifacts, packages, and dependencies that modern applications pull from, with a focus on governance, vulnerability detection, and compliance. Chief Executive Glenn Weinstein said customer demand is surging as organizations wrestle with securing code contributed by AI agents. The round brings total funding to roughly $130 million and accelerates Cloudsmith's expansion into North American enterprise accounts.
And one more funding story.
Aaru, a startup using simulated AI agents to predict consumer and political behavior, raised $80 million in a Series A this week. The round is unusually large for an early-stage company and signals growing investor appetite for synthetic research platforms. Aaru's technology runs thousands of AI personas through scenarios, surveys, and decision trees, producing forecasts faster and cheaper than traditional market research panels. Clients reportedly include consumer brands, political campaigns, and financial firms testing product messaging. Skeptics caution that simulated agents reflect the biases of the models that generate them. Investors are betting the method will mature into a standard complement to human panels by the end of the decade.
That's your briefing for Friday, April the 24th, 2026. For DX Today, stay curious.